September 7th, 1971 was the first day of school in the history of the Hebrew Academy of Indianapolis. For me personally, it was a day of mixed emotions as a new student entering school for the first time in my life. A little bit scary for a 5-year-old starting kindergarten. On that exact day, at the first recess in the history of the school, I ended up getting hit in the eye with a tennis racket. I ended up going to the hospital and having 3 stitches in my head. To this day, I still have the scar, and a few others as well from the school. Tennis racket. Mom and Dad, I'm sorry for adding more drama to that very special and historic day. But seriously, it was really a great day, and I vividly remember, even during my healing process, the joy and pride my mom and dad and aunt and uncle felt with that special day. As many of you remember, the conventional wisdom of the day was not to have this school in Indianapolis. However, the 4 of you and the other founders of the school, many of whom are here tonight, they rejected that sentiment and wisdom and started the school anyway. Mom, Dad, Uncle Mark, and Aunt Anna Ruth, the values and vision that you felt were important to teach to us, your children, your grandchildren, and your great-grandchildren, and the entire community of Indianapolis have been passed down, l'dor vador, from generation to generation, and may it continue for many generations to come. Your dedication to this school and community for the last 40 years has affected and changed the lives of thousands of people who live Jewish lives all over the U.S. and Israel. I know that you have great nachas from us, and we have an even greater admiration, appreciation, and nachas to you. Thanks to you and this school, all of us have received a first-rate Jewish and secular education, a love for the state of Israel, and a tremendous amount of Jewish pride that will be with us for our entire lives. Mazel tov on receiving this award, and as we say at all family simchas together, Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam, she'achiyanu v'kiyamanu v'higiyanu lazman hazeh. Mom and Dad, you want to come up?
My wife, before she left the state just now, whispered, "Be short." A chance to tell her that I will, because I have too much respect for your kidneys. I also want to congratulate the 8th graders. And Sherry Hamstra. Who interviewed you? What did you say? Me? we actually hired you with a name like Hans. So Simona and I know she's not going to speak, so I have to say a few words. So we thank the Academy for the Oscar. I mean, not the Hebrew Academy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean that at all. This turnout is unbelievable. This is fantastic. Give yourself a hand. I've never seen such a crowd. Now, just a little bit to be serious. Evan Maasu Habonim Haita Lorosh Pina. I'm sure you all understand what I just said in Hebrew, but for the benefit of the Morels, our wonderful, beautiful Catholic friends, I'd like to interpret that. I'd like to translate that, okay? They're sitting at our table, the Morels, wonderful, wonderful friends. The stone that was rejected by the Masons has become the cornerstone. And it is from Tehillim, which is the Psalms, and number 118, and if I know Gloria, she's going to look it up, chapter 118 in Psalms, and verse 22. Back in 71, some 40 years ago, you already heard it, the idea of a Jewish day school in Indianapolis was not only opposed by the establishment of the community. I call them machers. And for Gloria and Steve, a macher is a mover and shaker. So the movers and shakers of the Indianapolis community did not really appreciate a day school. But I told you it would be short, so I'm cutting a lot. So, but a small group of us, mostly parents with small children, thought otherwise. So tonight's Master of Ceremonies, Rabbi Ronald Gray, called a meeting. And by the way, the meeting was held on the 22nd of February. That's exactly 40 years and 3 months, exactly to the day. And he brought this guest, as you heard, Rabbi Bernard Goldenberg, and they suggested to start a Jewish day school. To make a long story short, at the end of that meeting, yours truly was was coerced in becoming, and I literally mean it, coerced, into becoming the chairman of the ad hoc committee to start a Jewish day school in Indianapolis. Now, this small, courageous group of dedicated, passionate, enthusiastic individuals worked very hard as a committee first, and then became members of the board of directors. And we succeeded in creating, as you heard, an exceptional school, and I agree, this is very exceptional. Indeed, it's a major cornerstone in the Jewish community of Indianapolis. Now, some of the very first board members who are alive are here tonight, and I would like for them, and I'm going to call on each one to stand, because they're here, and we all work together to establish this school in Indianapolis. I'd like to call first on Marilyn Shankerman. Shirley Kurlander. Erwin and Eileen Prince. By the way, that's all the same family. Esther and Joe Epstein. Michael Aronson. Where are you? Stand up. And of course, Rabbi Gray and my brother Mark. These are all the first board members. And I would also like to pay tribute to those board members who are no longer with us. First, Dr. Mo Shankerman, who worked very, very hard. He was really, his heart was in establishing the school, and he spent many, many hours, I'm talking about past midnight, interviewing teachers, interviewing the principal, whom you met tonight, the very first principal. Gilly Cohen, and his wife is here today, and I want her to stand. Carol Cohen, where are you? I'd like to pay tribute also to Gizzy Zoltan Weiss, David and Libby Fogel, Deepak and Esther Frankowitz, Shulam and Hilda Ettinger, and Mr. and Mrs. Eli Ettinger. We are very grateful to all these people, and many others who were very generous in supporting our school. God bless them all. Now, I mentioned before about this wonderful, great school. And how do we know it's great? And I'll tell you why. Simona and I travel a lot, and we many times meet some of the personalities who visited the school. Some people like Elie Wiesel, and it never fails. The first question that he asks is, how is the school doing? Or before him, and those who are no longer alive today, like Menachem Begin, who visited the school, Menachem Begin Olav Sholem, who visited the school twice, not once. The first question was, how is the school doing? People like Simon Wiesenthal, who visited the school, Yehuda Blum, Yaakov Ne'eman, he's still alive, Yaakov Ne'eman, Benny Begin. And just last February, Simona and I were in Israel, and we were fortunate to be invited by the Prime Minister, Bibi Netanyahu, where we celebrated Nathan Sharansky's release from the Soviet prison. And this was a surprise, the 25th anniversary. And the first thing that, now imagine, now this is the Prime Minister of Israel. When he said hello, he came over to us actually, and he said, so good to see you. How's the school doing? And then Nathan Sharansky insisted that we take pictures with him because he was so impressed with our day school. So how do I know it's a great school? Because we are told by some very prominent and very influential people. So we are very, very proud of that. And now, I'm just going to read excerpts from a letter that I received